Hi everybody.
Oh my goodness. So we are so excited. Cassidy and I, we're doing this one together
Yes.
because we are getting close to Christmas. And we just feel, we both got this same deck and it just is the ultimate Christmas deck, surely. It has to be.
It is. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is very Christmassy, but it's also very wintry as well. I must admit, I was looking through it. We haven't even said the name of it yet, which is coming. But I was looking through it, and I actually started to feel cold. Look, I don't know whether it had the same effect on you, Cassidy.
Absolutely. Yes, I was just talking with someone about that this morning. Like, you can't use this deck for weather predictions because it's snowing in just about every card.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And it just wouldn't feel right to use it in the middle of the summer somehow. I mean, this is definitely a seasonal deck, and it is called, boom, should we do it at the same time? The Winter Waite.
Yay!
Yeah. I've got the second edition. Which one have you got?
Yeah, the second is, so this was the one that came out in 2019.
Yes, the same with me. And it's very, very much based on the traditional Rider-Waite images, but it does have its own identity, absolutely. As Cassidy said, it's freezing cold and snowing throughout the entire deck. And it's very Christmassy. So I'll let you start, Cassidy. We will whiz through and give you all a glimpse of this. But I think, unfortunately, because of COVID, I'm not expecting to be asked to do any Christmas parties. I have been asked to do tarot Christmas events and parties, and this is just the go-to deck for that. But this year, no, sadly. But if anyone wants
virtual Christmas tarot party,
Christmas reading. But anyway, off you go, Cassidy.
Yeah. So this deck, it's so great because, like, if you're a Rider-Waite Smith devotee, it's like a perfect just one to swap on your table for your Christmas time readings. Like, you don't have to read a deck or a new system. Like, it's just, you can pick it up and read with it like right away. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's get us started with the Fool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like you can see as we go through it, it's essentially all Rider-Waite Smith imagery that they have made Christmassy, wintry-ified, which is really lovely. We've got our little dog here who is now orange. We have all the same symbolism, except we don't have the sun, which I know sometimes people, that's one of the symbols of the Fool card. But yeah, I mean, it's great. We've got the little sprig of, I don't know if that's holly or some kind of,
Not mistletoe, is it?
Mistletoe?
I think you're right. I think it is holly, actually.
Yeah.
I've gone with holly, but yeah. No, it's awesome. It's a great start. And it's quite a blizzard up there, isn't it, on that cliff?
Oh, yeah, it's giving her.
I don't know how clearly that shows, but yeah, I mean, it really is heavily snowing up there.
Yeah, big time.
Okay, so then we've got the magician. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of whooshing his wand away, very, very similar to the Rider-Waite. He's whooshing his wand away in the snow, and it's sort of making patterns in the snow. I quite like that. He's making a sort of a whirlwind out of the snow. And obviously the colouring that he's wearing is quite Christmassy, but other than that, very, very similar. Really very similar.
Yeah, and this one you'll notice is like where the suit of pentacles, they're all red with green stars. Like green.
Oh yes. Or perhaps while you've said that, we should also kind of just point out the lovely reverse of the card. I really like that.
I do too. Yeah, it's the black or the blue and pink plaid, completely reversible, which is perfect. Yeah, I really like that. So our next card, we have our High Priestess, which I love her hat. I mean,
Yes.
she
I think we just both hold them up just in case it's a better view. I don't know whether it is a better view.
yes. So
I
this,
think her hat makes her look quite modern and quite sort of, I don't know, is it a bit steampunky? I don't know.
yes, yeah, that's exactly the vibe. I totally agree with that. So in this card, you'll notice, you know, we just have her sitting here. We don't have the pillars. We don't have the veil, you know, so someone who reads really heavily on imagery of the card versus just, you know, energetically of what the card is, you'll be missing that with this particular card. But I love her. She's got, like, even in her face, she's got like some serious blush on. Like, I mean, I hope you can see her expression. But you mean, you wouldn't want to mess with this High Priestess in particular.
No, she's lovely. I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got the Empress. I mean, she is very, very awesome. I love the sort of the emphasis here on, you've got two bunnies and they're very, very noticeable in this card. Other than that, yes, I mean, she just looks all very cozy and comfortable. It really is the usual typical Empress card, but there is something very childlike about it, I think. I think I know the Empress card sort of covers things like being motherly, but it also covers all Mother Nature and all of that sort of thing. But I just feel there's something quite childlike in this one because of the bunnies. The bunnies stand out for me more in this one, and it's very playful, I think.
Yeah.
This Empress.
And like her face, she's got a pretty cold stare. I don't know. Like, I mean, she's got a very quite serious looking. If you look really just at her face, you know, she's again, it's just like a very strong, powerful presence. I really like.
Do you think she is Mother Christmas, the Mother Christmas of this deck?
Because then we have Father Christmas.
Absolutely. What a fantastic Father Christmas, the Emperor. I mean, suddenly the Emperor, you know, who can be quite serious in the Rider-Waite, he becomes much more Jupiter rather than Saturn, doesn't he? He does just become the sort of the jolly old man.
Exactly. And I mean, you can see like he's got his scepter, but then he's holding a Christmas ball. Like it's a little blue ornament, like Christmas ball in his hand, which is amazing. It's
and
balance.
Has he got two reindeers? Is it at the top of his throne?
Yeah, the two at the top and the two on the front there.
Yes. So it's almost like he's on his sleigh.
Yeah,
bordering on it.
I really like that. But it's cool with that balance of like he's holding the scepter, but then also like the Christmas ball. You know what I mean? It's just, it still shows.
Do you think that's a decoration, that ball?
What's that?
Do you think that blue ball is a decoration or a toy, or?
It's definitely, like, it looks like what you hang on a tree. It says the ball and it's got the little like string on top. Like he's like in one.
Oh, it has. It's a bauble. No, you're right.
Yeah, like he's about to take care of business, but he's also steps away from decorating a tree. You know.
That's amazing.
Oh, I love him.
And our usual Emperor is usually so serious, isn't he? And so sensible. No, I love it. I can't remember whose turn it is now. Is it you?
Of course. Yeah, you're up.
It's me. The Hierophant. Well, now the Hierophant also looks like Father Christmassy as well. But I would say he's Father Christmassy in the more the religious sense of the word, you know, the kind of the baby Jesus and going to church and remembering that side of Christmas. Whereas I feel the Emperor is more the kind of commercialism sort of side of Christmas. I think this is the kind of away in a manger, whereas the Emperor is like jingle bells. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool because they kept these two in their traditional outfits, right? Like we've got the roses and the lilies. They didn't change. I love how they did that. Fantastic. The lovers. Oh my gosh. It's so
and they're dressed.
They are fully clothed. This is I don't know, do we have nudity in this deck? I don't know. We'll see as we go along. But they are fully clothed, which like I mean, that brings a whole different element to it as well. And the trees behind both of them are both fully full trees, you know, they're covered in snow. So
Yes.
it's quite, if you're really heavy on symbolism, this one is quite different, but it's just, I love what
Yes, there's no burning tail or serpents or anything like that. It literally is just two people sort of, I don't know, coming out to sort of celebrate having a good time together.
Yeah, absolutely. And the color's beautiful.
Slightly more simplistic, isn't it? By putting clothes on them and just taking away the symbols. It's just, I'm with my boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever for Christmas.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like what they did there.
Now we get interesting.
We do.
Who is? I've absolutely loved
you. You're up.
Well, I don't know which one you've got, but everybody, boom, there are two chariots. And one chariot is kind of, well, when I say the more serious version, it's not really that serious, is it? I mean, it's like Santa on his sleigh, obviously. He's got his reindeers there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I mean, he is the sort of like the grown-up, this is what the grown-ups do. They deliver presents on their reindeers on Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. And this is what the children do. They go out playing sort of, you know, that this is the sort of fantasy one. Well, I don't know, they're both are, aren't they? I wonder why, do you know why they did two versions of that particular card?
Well, because I think what they did is in the first edition, they only had this chariot. And it was, this one is very obviously quite different, but this is considerably more traditional symbolism and imagery, right? So they wanted to, how they originally changed it to the, you know, the children tobogganing, and then also have one that was a lot more traditional
so they gave us both. So that was the reason that only came out in the second edition, did it? That we got the two.
I think so, yeah. And so
I quite like that though. If I was doing a reading, I would include the extra card, and if it came up, I would feel that this one or this one was sent for a particular reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to mention as well, I really do like the fact that there's no border on these pictures, that it goes right to the end. I love that, actually.
Which I think the first edition was bordered. They made it borderless, I believe, for the second edition.
Okay.
Two Santas here so far. We got the Emperor versus the Chariot. So there's, you know.
Yeah, and the religious Santa on the Hierophant.
Yes. Yeah. So
there's lots of old men in this one.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. Then as we move along, I love Strength.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
They made her hair purple, which is super beautiful, you know. And then she's got the reindeer.
Yeah.
I think it's just very sweet. You know, it's a different sort of strength, because the way you think of, you know, approaching the lion, that thing could get off. But when you're approaching a reindeer, you just don't want to scare it away. You know, so it's a different type of strength that is.
There's something sort of very Virgo about this one. I think, like, you know, she's very much caring for it. I'm not that she isn't in the traditional strength card, but I feel this is all about really looking after the reindeer, you know, in the best possible way, so that the reindeer can do what needs to be done. Yeah. So Rudolph can do his thing.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So good.
Is this my favorite card in the deck? Maybe. Look at that hermit. Oh my God. Isn't he fabulous?
He's amazing.
He is fabulous. I mean, I don't know what to say. I love the hermit anyway, but I just think this takes the hermit. It just gives warmth to the hermit, even though he's standing in the middle of a blizzard. Mm-hmm. Because normally he's really in that sort of very drab grey, and even though he's all dressed in red, it's still got the humble thing going on.
Certainly. Yeah.
Oh, it's just gorgeous.
It's interesting because the hermit is typically standing on a snowy covered mountain, right? And this whole deck is snow, but he's not standing on snow. He's standing on solid ground, which still puts him in like a different you know, he's in a different
Oh,
the
yes.
rest of the deck. It's just really cool.
Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Love him.
This one might be one of my favorite cards in the deck. I've got
Yes.
favorite cards in this deck, but check out this Wheel of Fortune. Are you?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, that's just delicious. I mean, oh, it's so cute. We got our gingerbread house, the candy cane. We've got the one of those Christmas pies up in the corner, and then candy with the little mouse on top.
Yeah.
On.
Yeah, yeah. I just love the little mouse on the wheel. It's just instead of that strange red thing that we normally have.
Yeah, totally.
Oh no, it's brilliant. It's even like the mouse is having a good time at Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I would
Love
have a
it.
very hard time reading this card negatively, even, you know, in reverse. You know, it's just so jolly.
Yeah. It's awesome. Oh my God, this is great. So the Justice card. Now, I've had conversations with people your side of the Atlantic that they see Justice as being female. And I always thought that Justice was male. And in this instance, I won because Justice is definitely a male in this one. And I love the naughty or nice either side. Like, you've got to have the right balance between naughty and nice. I think that's so cool.
Big time. And I mean, when I first saw the deck, like, because if you compare they got the same hat almost. Well, not the same, but.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Justice.
Yes.
I agree. That naughty and nice list, unbelievable. That's so
And his chair is made out of all the candy cane as well. And yeah, love him.
Very sweet.
Must be such fun to design a deck based on where you don't really want to stray too far from the original, and it's what little tweaks and changes shall we make without turning it into completely different artwork. I would imagine that they have a great time making those decisions.
For sure. And they do that, like, they've got quite a few different decks. So on Tarot Collectibles, they've got the dead weight one. They've got really cool, like, ways they just tweak the
We will put the name of the website down, tarotcollectibles.com, where you can get this deck. But they've got very, very cool other decks as well that are also, and aren't they all hand painted and everything? I mean, they spend a long time doing these decks. But yeah, a lot of I don't know if all of their decks are based closely on the Rider-Waite, but then they sort of take them in their own directions.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I know they've got quite a few that are. They've got like what's it called, like the groovy weight, which is
the groovy one, and there's the black.
It's like psychedelic something.
Psychedelic, that's right. Yeah,
they're really cool.
Yeah, well worth a look. So Hanged Man, yes, there he is.
The Hanged Elf.
Yeah, I love his feet. I love his sort of toes curling up at the end, so elf-like, even upside down. Yeah,
which is kind of cool as well, because it's like, why is this elf hanged? You know, what did he screw up on the toy line? You know, it's cool, the different narratives that you get. Seeing like a hanged elf versus just
and on the thing he's hanging from, it's got some holly as well. So I mean, but that's the theme throughout the whole deck, really, the whole snowy Christmas thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you make of this young happy fellow? Death.
Which, like, it's such a different color palette than almost the entire deck.
Yes.
This gold color, and everything we've seen so far is all these blues and pinks, and I love the way they did that.
I mean, in the traditional, you've got the sort of sun setting, haven't you, in the background? That's all gone.
Yeah, and the boat, and it's
they just basically stuck to the main characters here. But it is very similar, other than the colouring and the snow, to the traditional death card. So
And we have Temperance. She's so pretty and so sweet.
She really is. She really, I mean, she sort of reminds me of I don't know, Little Red Riding Hood or Little Bo Peep or something. She's quite fairy tale like, I think, in that big
Yes.
clip.
Yeah, exactly. But she's not an angel, you know, she doesn't have the foot in the water. She's just standing. It's very human.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
And I can't, and the path isn't there, is it really?
No. No, I don't see that.
Yeah, so I kind of like feel if you are reading with this deck, you do need to kind of like not just jump in with your normal interpretations. Do you know what I mean? It's really important to just kind of just absorb the differences and see whether that triggers your intuition in a slightly different way or not. You may still come up with something very, very similar, but I think some of the cards will take you somewhere else.
Yes, yeah, it really does have a voice of its own. Even though it's a very similar, you know, recoloring, there's a lot of elements that are very different.
I totally agree. And I also think that when we are sort of teaching and card readings, like how to read the cards and how to interpret the cards, we're always saying, don't do keywords, let your intuition see what you get. I think this is a great exercise to kind of like force you away from keywords, because you've got these similar images, but you may, you know, I just think if you use keywords, you're going to really, really miss the point of this.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So, the devil, my goodness. Wow.
Krampus? Isn't this Krampus, maybe?
Well, he's got two little children there for a start instead of kind of two naked adults.
And look at his tongue.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's got a horrible tongue. And he's also, they're not chained. He's whipped the handcuffs off them.
Yeah. Which is like a very different type of manipulation. Right? That's a very different manipulation when you're sitting there and look how sad they are. And they're not chained, but.
No, is he saying you've been naughty this year? You've done naughty things, so you're not getting anything. Ha, ha, ha. Is that what he's saying?
Well, isn't that what the story of Krampus, you know? Wasn't he sent to scare children?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely don't look happy.
Nope,
they do not look happy.
But again, we're all clothed here. We've got children and they are clothed. So no nudity so far.
Yeah. So far, no nudes. Which is a good thing if you want to put these cards on Facebook as your because when I put an array of cards on Facebook, I've just dropped all my cards so they're all going to be out of order. When I put an array of cards on Facebook, I got told I couldn't use the picture because it was pornographic with all the news.
Are you serious? Was it just a Rider-Waite deck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I got barred from using it with just a little mishmash of cards. I've just got to get my cards, Cassidy, which are now all out of order because I've dropped them all over the floor. But anyway,
so we'll move along as Mandy gets her cards back. We've got the Tower here, which is very cool.
We were looking at this earlier. I've got to find it where I was. Yeah, there were no people in it.
No, there's just a burning building. We don't have the lightning. We don't have the crown. No people. It is a building that presumably was struck moments before, you know, this picture was taken. Or, you know, maybe it was set from the inside. Who knows? Maybe the people are stuck in there. You know, maybe it's deserted.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Super different.
I think the fact that there's no people in there was what I think I'm back on track now. I don't know. Yeah, was what struck me about this. Mm-hmm. Very much so. And there's no lightning, is there? It's just the building is on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's still. I
think that makes quite a difference. I think that makes quite a difference that there are no people jumping or escaping out of it, actually.
Yeah.
How you might interpret that.
And there's like, without that lightning, it's like, who knows why this building is on fire? You know, did someone was it a meteor? Was it set from the inside? Like, it maybe wasn't, you know, the tower being something that just happens to you. Who knows? Like, this could have been This could have easily just been done by another person. You know, there's no that lightning strike of God thing happening here. So it's quite different. Very nice.
So the star, she is also dressed.
There we go.
Yeah, she is also covered up.
Yep.
Apart from, wait a minute, is there a little bird there? Wait a
No,
second.
we're missing our little ibis.
No, the little bird is not there.
No.
And also, this is very much one star, isn't it? Whereas in the traditional, you've got the constellation of stars.
That's right.
So this isn't, would you say this is the Christmas star, like the North Star, the star over Bethlehem, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lovely. I really like her.
Yeah.
Then we have the moon.
Oh, gotta love the moon. Oh, so the moon, like the reindeers have come out to sort of graze, and yeah, so you've got the reindeers instead of the dog and the wolf. There's no crustacean sort of crawling out from the depths to kind of do whatever he has to do. It just feels very peaceful. It feels to me like the night before Christmas. It's just like they're getting ready to have the sleighs put on them, and you know, it's a few hours before they'll deliver all the presents. That's how it feels to me. My immediate reaction to that.
Yeah, and we don't have our little, you know, crustacean coming out of the bottom there. It's so that's very different as well. But it's quite peaceful, you know. It's like you can hear this card, you know, that silent fall of the snow. And
Yes, I would agree. Yeah. Now, what do you make of this? Hello?
Oh, it's so cute.
Happy New Year with my top hat. It's like he's going to jump off and do a tap dance or something.
Yes, absolutely.
Way, isn't it? Broadway baby.
And it's an angel baby too. I mean, he's got wings.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like Justin Bieber. I went to see him in concert once and he literally flew in with big angel wings across the auditorium. It was extraordinary.
That's so cool. Check that.
It really is like a showbiz baby.
Yeah, big time.
It is such a showy card.
And, you know, Happy New Year. Which is very cute, you know, with the happy.
It is very cute. It's lovely. But there's nothing subtle about that sun card. Not that the sun card is subtle, but I think they take that, they go further with it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting because it's like with it saying Happy New Year, you know, that just in everything that New Year means for people brings right into the card, which is cool too. I see. Oh, there we go. There's our nudity.
Finally, we can see our nudity.
Close the judgment, people.
I have to say they look a lot healthier than the traditional. That these look like they've got a bit of life and colour in them, rather than looking like grey dead bodies crawling out of their graves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, these are full of life.
And she's even got the you know, holly sprigs in her hair.
Yes, absolutely. And the angel, instead of having that sort of red cross, it's got it's got the Christmas flag flying. It's it really is very joyous, actually.
Big time, yeah.
Judgment. I've always felt the judgment card has got a joyous sort of, or a possible joyous, the possibility of a joyous interpretation, like a lot of people have sat up and noticed, but it can go either way. Whereas I just think this looks like everyone's partying.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I've got to be honest with you, Cassidy, this one surprises me that they're naked.
Why is that?
Because I just feel it is so joyous, and it's kind of like, you know, the angels blowing the trumpets, come out and party. Would you all rush out without your clothes on? I don't know.
True. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. But I mean, you know, this could be, you know, with this year, everyone potentially not being able to go around for Christmas. Maybe this is next year, you know, when we finally all get things together again.
And last but not least on the majors, we have another nude. Happy holidays. It's the world card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's lovely.
I love how she's in the Christmas wreath too, right? Like she got her in a wreath. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that's really great. I think they've just done such a great job with those majors. I love it. I think this is such a fun deck. So
I do too.
shall we do the wands cards? We'll whiz through them. So the Ace of Wands, I noticed the hand is blue from cold.
Frozen. Which is very cool. You know,
But other than that, the blue hand and the yellow nails, and the snow, it's pretty Ace of Wandsy.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, it's Ace of Wands being fire, but they've got an icicle, you know, at the bottom of the wand. I mean, like,
yes, but the cloud is red, isn't it? To sort of make up
for sure.
That bit of, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I think the 2 is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because of the birds.
Yeah, they went very detailed with this card. And I like the birds in the sky. And even though you got the bird on the ground. And as you see, as we go through, they really put a lot of animals in the minors. There's if you work with like animal energies of sorts, I think that would probably add a whole bunch more meaning for you. Like, what is that, a turtle dove maybe? Or just a regular dove?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Which is very
cool. You might be right. And he's got a Christmas present in his hand instead of the world.
Yes, which is so great.
I know.
Gotta take that to the post office.
Yeah. So here I think you might be right about the turtle doves, because there's 2 here. So it does make you think of the song. There's 2 at the bottom there on the 3 of Wands.
Oh, do you think that's the partridge? And these are the 2 turtle doves?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
These kind of look like geese, though. I don't know. I'm not
sure. I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but they're most definitely there. And then you've got the boat.
Yeah, that's a very elaborate ship with the Christmas sails on it. That's a super elaborate ship.
Yes. Nice. Okay. 4.
Got pheasants. There's some pheasants in our 4 of Wands.
Yes.
Around here, which is beautiful. They kept, I think, all of the background imagery with the 3 people and the bridge and the towers and stuff. Yeah, it's all
yes.
Really
no,
nice.
Lovely.
This card makes me giggle.
Now there's no birds, I don't think, in this one.
Nope, no birds here. But we got an elf fight.
An elf fight. Yeah. It's cool. It's like this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing while they're waiting to start rapping or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take this card all that seriously. You know, I mean, it's funny. Very sweet.
Okay, so the 6 of Wands is very similar.
Yeah, beautiful.
There he is up there.
Yeah, that's really nice.
The colours are just very, very vibrant and very Christmassy. This one is great.
This is amazing. This
is so good. The 7.
Look at, he's guarding the toys on the top of the sleigh.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Oh.
He's obviously up for Elf of the Year, you know, or whatever.
Yes. Which, like, that's such a different thing to be guarding something that's not necessarily yours, you know? That's a really different meaning from just our regular 7 of Wands, where you're kind of...
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Still got the mismatched shoes. They kept the boot and the foot and the...
Yes, they kept... Yeah, they did. I love him, though. I really, really think he's proud to be an elf, you know?
Yep, for sure.
Okay, so the 8 is... I love the purple background.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's almost like the Santa sleighs have like taken off, and this is the trail that they leave behind. You know, like an aeroplane leaves, I don't know, like a trail of whatever.
Yeah.
It to me, that's what that looks like. It's like, it's the kind of what comes out of the back of the sleigh.
Yeah, for sure. That's
now. shepherds watch their flocks by night.
Love that with all the sheep. Oh, and the little, we got the lantern up there. I like that as well.
Another person who's very kind of doing his job, you know, and he's not going to kind of, none of those sheep are going to go astray while he's on duty.
That's right.
This is a very similar card to the traditional. Somehow it adds to the burden that it's also freezing cold and he doesn't know where he's going with all his sticks.
Big time. And I mean, the sticks are also getting heavier because now they're getting covered in snow as well.
I wonder whether, because he can't see where he's going, I wonder whether he takes those sticks and sets them on fire in the wrong place, and that's the fire in the tower.
Absolutely.
I know. My imagination is going a bit wild. Page of Wands.
He's very sweet.
I kind of like to see a real contrast though with this and the traditional one, even though we can recognise him. Like the Page of Wands in the ordinary Rider-Waite is in a very, very hot place.
Yes, with the
and a very kind of it just feels very, very hot, and this feels very cold. So
and look at his expression as well. It's very different.
Yes.
You know, he's kind of side-eye looking at you.
Yes.
Interesting. He's kind of almost looks perturbed, perhaps, that you're there. It's very interesting, the facial expression we see on him. That's coming up.
He's looking at that wand like, I'm not quite sure what to make of you. I've never seen anything quite like you before.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
The Knight of Wands.
And this one, the facial expression is very different, I find, in this particular card as well. Because if you look at it, he almost looks concerned, worried. I don't know, he's kind of wide-eyed, like I don't necessarily see that overt confidence that I would necessarily think of with this card. He seems like he's got...
No, I know what you mean. I think when you look at the Knight of Wands in the traditional, and it's all very red and brown and fiery, he comes across as very passionate. But this sort of, because he's in a cold setting and the look on his face, it sort of takes a little bit of the passion out of it in a sense. I feel this is a little bit less powerful than the traditional Knight of Wands. I don't know if you agree.
I do, yeah.
He's almost just turned into a man on a horse on a snowy day.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, his face is, he's almost got a bit of a downturn on his smile. Like he's that overt confidence in the, like he just doesn't have it there in the same.
He seems like fun, doesn't he? Or that he's up for some fun, he's sexy, all that sort of thing in the original.
Yes, yeah.
Now, what do you make of her? Queen of Wands.
Like, I just see this vastly different.
Yes.
For me, that with here, she's got like a bit of blush on. Her face is a lot softer. I mean, little cat's got a bow. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes.
It's very sweet. But she seems a lot softer for me in this deck than how I typically see her.
Well, again, in the traditional, because she's all red and orange, she's fiery, Yeah. It's taken all the sort of, I don't know, it just feels like the fire on these court cards has been really dampened down because of the snowy environment somehow, and the change of colour.
For sure. And also that interesting element of like, where did you find a sunflower when it's, the middle of winter?
Yes. Having said that though, it's kind of, they've sort of got it back a bit with the king because he's quite largely in red.
Yes. And I mean, the snow around him's kind of melting and it's like, is that his inner fire, or it's just not as snowy. I find him as powerful for sure. He seems to still have that.
I kind of definitely think he is the sort of the standout court card for me of the wands.
Yep.
The others I feel are a little bit, I just don't think they're going to make quite the same impact in a reading, the other 3 court cards from the wands, that they can do on the traditional. That might just be me, and it might depend on the reading.